Hey, what is good, family? What is good? Boxing fans, boxing critics, and boxing analysts. Renee Box Young coming from the South, Mexico. Salute! Salute to the whole boxing community, boxing family. Hey, I hope you guys are doing great today. I want to just go live, all right, and talk about Chris Eubank Jr. Other people are talking about it, but I want to focus a little bit more in depth right now. Today about this boxer, in the middleweight division. We got an invited guest, El Chapo Reyna. We'll get him on in a moment. Yeah, I just want to, just wait a couple minutes. Here we go. We're gonna start talking about the deal here. All right, so yeah, let's do this. Let's get him on right now. We're gonna in a moment. So just a quick breakdown, real fast, mini introduction. All right, Chris Eubank Jr. In case some people don't know him, he comes from England, United Kingdom, nationalities United Kingdom. Sorry, I don't really know much of Europe, but United Kingdom, England, around the okay. He has 28 wins, 2 losses, 21 KOs. All right, in the middleweight division, he's going to debut here in America in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, here in the Western Hemisphere. I'm in Mexico, but for you guys who are listening in America here, right? He's gonna fight Matt Korobov, all right, on December. Okay, let me get the date real quick. I got it right here, real fast. It's on December 7th of this year. Okay, so he's gonna fight this year in America. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be cool, great to watch. El Chapo Reyna, what is good, bro? You there?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Right on, man. Right on. Great to have you as always, man. Awesome. Awesome. We'll see if Marlo wakes up, right? So we can get in here, see if Trey is not
Yeah,
busy. It was kind of
yeah,
unexpected, the live. What's up?
yeah. They were kind of well. I think Marlo did a live stream last night for the Nui fight. I think he started like at two
Yeah, three
o'clock.
o'clock, 2 in the morning.
Yeah, he was up all night doing that live stream. So that's kind of why he's out of there.
Chen Smoke, what is good? What is good, Chen Smoke? Welcome, welcome. We're gonna chop it up in a moment right now. Oh yeah, so Marlo was asleep. I'm sure, yeah, he's dead asleep right now, huh?
Yeah,
Oh, did
most
you watch the
likely.
fight? Did you watch that fight?
No, I didn't get to watch it, man. I was kind of busy doing other stuff, and then I was sleeping too. But I had to start streaming and everything last night for them. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it honestly. So yeah, I didn't either. I didn't see it either. So,
Yeah.
but hey, congratulations that you knew, right?
Yeah, what I heard though, it was a good fight though.
Yeah, they're saying it's a fight of the year. So I mean, obviously it would be debatable because there have been great fights this year. I mean, we got to admit, right? This year has been a great year of boxing. What do you think, Chapo?
Yeah, man, I think so. I think we had some pretty good fights. A lot of unifications this year. A lot of changes of belts. That we had some what is it, underdogs win and stuff like that. Some upsets. Then we
Yep.
had a lot of the top fighters get some good fights in, big name fights. So I thought it was a really great year this year. And I thought we started off strong and we're ending it pretty strong.
Yeah, that's great, man. Chen Smoke, it was a great fight. You saw the fight, bro? You saw the fight, Chen Smoke? Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it. El Chapo didn't either, right? So yeah, but it has been a great year, man. So as you said, underdogs winning. It's just been back and forth. The drama this year also, hey, the drama is part of boxing, you guys. So we just got to go with the flow and enjoy it. Politics is part of boxing, even though we probably don't necessarily agree with it. We just got to go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Big ups to the underdogs who won. You know what I mean? This year, J Rock, right? Obviously, Andy Ruiz. There have been others this year. A couple months ago, before we get into this Chris Eubank Jr. deal, a couple months ago, a month and a half ago, or something like that. I am here in Mexico. I don't know over there, but we have a program on ESPN. Oh yes, sir. Start around 6:30 Texas time. Oh, right on, man. That's good. At least it wasn't at 2 o'clock in the morning, huh? 3 o'clock. So that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So here we got a program on ESPN. We watch it. I watch it on Saturday night sometimes when I get the chance. When there are not other fights. It's cool though because it's called ESPN. ESPN. It's called Knockout. It's kind of like Showbox on Showtime. Yeah, it's kind of like Showbox where you see prospects coming up. And there were some upsets in that one too. There was a guy, I forgot their names, but there's up and coming fighters, and it's great in the professional. And I saw it recently. It's the year of the upset. As a matter of fact, I was going to make a video on it, but I just didn't have the time to get around to it. I was going to make a video on that about these prospects. It was a guy who came from the amateurs, first debut pro fight against another guy who was some Cuban guy, if I'm not mistaken. And he had about 20 fights or something like that, undefeated, great. He was the star of the night. But man, that guy who fought, he's some Mexican guy who fought a Mexican guy who was debuting. First pro fight, he knocked him out, man. He knocked out the star. You know, everyone thought he was going to win. But man, that was a big upset. So I was going to make a video on that just to add on to the year of the upsets, but I didn't have time to get around it. But yeah, so it's been definitely the year of the upsets, man. So, hey, it might be another upset in the Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua rematch, right? Maybe Anthony Joshua will win. That's another upset right there. What do you think, Chapo?
Well, I think is still favored to win. Joshua, he's actually still he's still favored to win this one. But I mean, if he won, it wouldn't be the upset. To some, to bettors and stuff like that. Yeah.
All right. Chen Smoke, real quick, your comment, bro. Who do you think will win against Andy Ruiz and with Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua rematch? Just your comment down there if you want. Yeah. So. Yeah, man, year upsets, great year of boxing. I liked it. I think, what do you think, Chen, before we get into Chris Eubank, what do you think next year has? You think it's going to be as good as this year in boxing? I'm sorry, I said Chen Smoke. I'm sorry, man, I said Chen Smoke, right? El Chapo. Hey, Chen Smoke too. Go ahead and comment there. But yeah, El Chapo, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I mean, we're lined up for some big fights too. I mean, God willing, with Errol Spence, he's got some big fights coming up. I think Terrence Crawford's going to get him a big fight before Spence, and then I think Canelo will give us a good fight maybe in September. I think we'll get a good fight with Wilder this year. Well, we're gonna get the Wilder and Fury rematch. And then let's see who else we got. I think we might get a good Caleb Plant fight this year. I'm not too sure about David.
You think that'll be this year? And Caleb Plant?
No,
is he?
I don't think
next year. Next year, yeah.
I think that one will be. I'm talking about 2020. That's what I mean.
Right.
But I don't think that fight happens to 2021. I mean, just the way everything goes. And then I think I know we're getting from what I heard, there's a Chisora and Usyk fight coming out. So I mean that'll be a pretty good a good fight just to see where Usyk's at and stuff like that. And then all the lightweight fights that we're gonna get. I'm pretty sure we'll get a undisputed. Oh, I don't know how you would do it, but with the franchise belt, but as far as Comey and the winner of Comey and
Lopez
and Lopez with Lomachenko, I think we get that fight at the end of the year. So I mean, we're gonna get some good fights, some big name fights, and some real quality fights.
Yeah, the thing here is that Chen Smoke going for Ruiz. That's right on. I'm going for Ruiz too. I'm gonna make another live about that, you guys. I want you guys to join in also. I'm gonna make another live soon about Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. I have to do that, definitely. So yeah, we're gonna chop that up later on too, on another day. Awesome. All right, I'm
talking about that, man. I made a badass video that I never got to post for Andy Ruiz, but because of the zone that like the copyright and all that. But I made a badass video. I got to show you that one soon.
Awesome. The thing here is that DAZN's kind of picky on copyright, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, they're picky. They're picky, man. So man, that's great. Speaking of that, those who are gonna stream later or who are gonna check this video out later, go subscribe to Marlo's Corner. Yeah, there was a little issue there, YouTube, tripping on him. So subscribe to his new channel. What's the name of his new channel? It's Marlo's Corner 2, isn't it, Chapo?
Yeah, Marlo's Corner 2, man. Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe to that. And that's kind of where we're gonna be at for the meantime. Just keep the show alive and keep going and stuff like that. Y'all make sure y'all go there.
Yeah, check that out for sure. So yeah, getting back to that 2020, I think it's also going to be a great year. We got these amazing, that what I was saying a moment ago that I was going to say that, What's going on here is that, Canelo, you just mentioned something about Canelo about next year, right? Also being part of a, great fight lineup. I think that, Canelo's feeling the heat. I think he's feeling the heat. I just made a recent video. I made one in Spanish and also in English. So that the Spanish audience that maybe not know English much, they get into the know also. Here in Mexico, they are, that, Canelo, the heat's rising up upon him. A lot of people are saying, I made a video about how legends, boxing legends, just to name a few, Cesar Chavez Sr., right? Ignacio Beristain, amazing, legendary boxing Mexican trainer, right? You got Eric Morales. You got, Juan Manuel Marquez. You even got Mikey Garcia. Who, they're commenting, they're seeing things, and they're starting to bring out to light, the trajectory of Canelo. Canelo's an excellent fighter. It's not like he's bad. No, he's a great fighter. He's a great top fighter. You know what I mean? It's just that, we want to see, Canelo fight against an undefeated champ in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's really, and I think he's feeling it. Maybe his team, Reynosa, right? Reynosa, if I'm not mistaken, Canelo mentioned that Reynosa is going to choose Canelo's next opponent. So hopefully next year it's going to be a good opponent. I don't think many people are really interested. More than anything, Triple G man fans, I guess we can call them, or what have you, what other label people put them. But I think not many people want to see Triple G trilogy against Canelo, because I think just Canelo's just going to smash him to oblivion. What do you think, El Chapo?
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I mean, like I kind of I've heard some of those, with Morales and all them, and but the thing is like when you look at Canelo, like as far as like the fights and stuff like that, how do I say it? Like when you go outside the community and stuff like that, like outside of us, like everybody that we kind of talk to and stuff like that. Hold on, give me a second, man. Hold on.
Right. Yeah, so we're just talking about that. Yeah, the legends, talking about Canelo, mentioning things. This is just a little warm up, you guys, before we get into the Chris Eubank Jr. Debut in America. We're going to chop that up in a moment. Lots to talk about, quite a bit to talk about with Chris Eubank. I mean, I'm planning about doing maybe another hour in this. You there, Chapo?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Basically, like a lot of the fighters, like a lot of the when you go like to different forums and like different places, like they don't really call for like the boo fights and for Charlo fights. Like what they call for is like Liam Smith. They call for Triple G, Better Be. Like those are all the fights that they're calling for, and it's kind of weird, like stuff like that. Like because I go and I look up, who. Like look at the main columnists and stuff like that, the big columnists, and the ones that they're saying who should Canelo fight next are those guys. So that's kind of just something that to look at and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, sooner or later, Canelo's going to give a great fight sooner or later. I mean, not that his previous fights weren't great, but I think he is going to, sooner or later, there's going to be an explosive fight with Canelo. And I think, he's gonna satisfy us a little bit more in that sense in 2020. So hopefully he's part of it. You know what I'm saying? And as you said, Bud Crawford, Spence, Mikey Garcia is talking about fighting Pac-Man.
Yeah, and to me, Jacobs was one of those good fights. One of those where they're not really that old. Because when you look at like we were calling for a big fight, and we got Errol Spence and Sean Porter. Sean Porter's 31 years old. He's not in his 20s, and Jacobs was only 32 years old. So they're basically the same age and stuff like that. So to me, Jacobs was one of those, he's not too old and stuff like that. And he was beaten, but
Yeah, Jacobs, that was a great fight. And
Boo Boo's not in his 20s either. Boo Boo's like I think 30, 31.
Right. Yeah, that Jacobs fight was great. That was a good fight with Canelo, and he won slim. As a matter of fact, Juan Manuel Marquez, he said that, according to his scorecards, Jacobs won. That was a slim win right there.
Yeah, that was a close one.
Yeah, so let's get to it. Chris Eubank Jr. debut in America. Man, awesome. Okay, first, as I mentioned right now as an introduction before we start talking to El Chapo, right? we got Chris Eubank Jr. He's going to debut in America against Matt Korobov. Matt Korobov, as you guys all know, as a matter of fact, this was just, I think, yesterday, just recently. Chris Eubank Jr. and Chris Eubank Sr., his father's his trainer also. Another father-son relationship, another father-son trainer boxer relationship, as other examples like Guerrero and his dad, right? Porter and his dad. The list goes on. But we have this relationship, right? Chris Eubank Jr. and Chris Eubank Sr. Heyman's World. Salute! What is good, bro? Okay, what are you saying here real quick? Fox Sports should fire Modes and put Eubank. Yeah, okay, we're going to get in a little bit of that. Maybe not fire Modes, I don't know, but I want to, yeah, okay, yeah. Heyman's World said something important right now that I want to, and we're talking about that right now, that he was in PBC, right? They were interviewing him, and, they were talking about Korobov, and Porter said that he didn't even know who Korobov was when he came to fight Jermall Charlo. If I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves correct, Korobov was a replacement. Correct me if I'm wrong, El Chapo, right? Korobov was a replacement to Jermall Charlo's original opponent, right?
Yeah, he was, when he was supposed to fight.
Who was it? I forgot.
William Monroe.
Yeah, right, Monroe, right. And Korobov, he was great competition. That was a great fight, southpaw. And so Chris Eubank is going to fight, and that was a close fight too, as far as with Korobov and Charlo. So Chris Eubank Jr. is going to debut in America, fight Korobov, southpaw. It's going to be a great fight, and something that Heyman's World. So Fox Sports should fire Modes and put Eubank in there. Okay, let's go to another. Modes can't speak, right. Put Modes on the live fight commentary instead. Yeah, I agree. Modes is better at calling fight. He is definitely great at calling fights. And the thing is that this is interesting that Heyman's World is going to talk about this. I'm going to get Chapo's comment in a moment. This is really good that what Heyman's World is saying, because this is one thing I was going to point out. One aspect in this whole Chris Eubank Jr. debut in America is this. When I was getting onto, when I was talking about the Chris Eubank Jr. and Sr. relationship, trainer, boxer, son, father, they are this is what it is. Those guys are they're very eloquent. They're very intelligent, man. I've been following Chris Eubank for some time, not too long, but for a couple years back. I like his trajectory. I like his fighting style. I like his professionalism. He's very professional, okay? The way he speaks, really intelligent, okay? A really intelligent young man, He fought recently James DeGaulle, right? He beat James DeGaulle. We're going to talk about trajectory in a moment, but I really like who he is as a fighter. Really smart guy, and he's really smart in the ring too. So I wanted to point that out. A really intelligent fighter. He's going to come here and debut in America, fight Korobov. Now, real quick, let's get to fighting styles real fast, okay? Let's get to a little bit of fighting styles, all right? Now, Chris Eubank Jr., all right? Chris Eubank Jr., he has really powerful hooks, okay? It seems like sometimes his power punches don't extend too much. So he's really fast in his combos. He gives flurries real fast, man. He just I mean, he really on the inside in the pocket. So when you get near Eubank Jr., okay, in the pocket, I mean, you better be your defense better be strong and high. You better have a good defense, because those combos are gonna hurt. So that's what he has. He's kind of flat-footed. Okay, but he's quite aggressive. He's a move forward type of fighter. And I think that's going to give Korobov and other competition in the middleweight division a problem. He's talking about, guys, okay, I'm going to get El Chapo's comment in a moment. He's talking about, Chris Eubank Jr. is talking about, taking over the middleweight division. I just made a recent video. I constantly mention this, where we are in a generation and era as far as, at the moment, up till now, not completely, but we're seeing a lot of fighters who don't want to fight the best. And Chris Eubank Jr., he's out of that mold, in my opinion, at least, okay? He wants to fight the best. He says that he's in his prime. He's ready to fight the best in the middleweight division. Obviously, his goal is to fight Jermall Charlo. A lot of people haven't known this. A lot of people haven't paid attention. A lot of people have been sleeping on Chris Eubank Jr. That's why I want to make this live, all right? And when I talk about it, because Chris Eubank Jr. has said this a while ago, you guys, a long time ago. He said he's been wanting to fight, Canelo. Obviously Canelo, he doesn't pay attention to people when they call him out, man. I mean, like, some fight. Billy Joe Sanders, you guys, is another one. Months ago, in a press conference, Canelo was in a press conference in one of his fights. I don't know who it was against. I think it was a Triple G, the first Triple G, second Triple G rematch. I don't remember. Billy Joe Sanders was in the press conference and he was calling out Canelo right there in the crowd. He's like, "Come on, Canelo. What are you scared? What up? Come on." And, Canelo just ignoring him. And obviously I understand in professional purposes, but the thing is guys, Chris Eubank Jr. has been one of the, his main goal is Canelo. He wants to fight Canelo and that would be an amazing fight. But first, obviously, we don't want to go down the road too much. We have to see him fight against Korobov. All right. So what's your input? We're going to get into Haymond's world in a moment, what he was saying, right? But, what's your input, El Chapo, on Chris Eubank Jr.? Do you know much about him? Do you know about his style? What do you think about him in the middleweight division here in America?
Yeah, I agree, man. I think a lot of what it is it's a Al Heyman move. It's kind of what was good for their middleweight division, that the stable of fighters they have, because I believe he was at super middleweight last fight, Chris Eubank, and that's what he's been basically fighting at, super middleweight. And I think that basically they had to bring him down, man, because just to get a good name in there, kind of to build up Charlo as well. And then also too, it'll be a good fight between them, and then maybe the winner can go on to do bigger and better fights and stuff like that. So I think what it was is it's a lot like it's just a move. It was a right move for those fighters and stuff like that, so they can both do some good with themselves. And I think that's kind of the best fight that he can make for Charlo right now. Something like that, like a what I call it, a Eubank or even a Derevyanchenko. Those are kind of the same things, but I'm not too sure if Derevyanchenko is with the Zone or what exactly. But I know he's with PBC, but I don't know if he fights on the Zone. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And something real quick, what Heyman's world saying, I don't like Mancini and Lennox Lewis. They yeah, Mancini, I don't really favor him either. As I like Lennox Lewis and commenting, calling out fights. I like Lennox Lewis, but Mancini, I agree. I don't really agree. Something that Heyman's world is saying also, I want to point out, and I already had this prepared to talk about. I'm white. I wish I spoke English as good as Eubank Sr. Yeah, man, they speak so eloquently, man, and I like that. That draws me. That shows that they're very intellectual. They're very smart, And the thing is that Chris Eubank Jr., he has the guidance of his father, and his father has been a pro about 20 years ago, 17 years ago, approximately. His father has extensive professional. He was a pro fighter. He was a boxer. So he's guiding his son, and so yeah, they speak very. I like how they speak, man. I like how they present themselves. Very professional. They're focused. That's what it is. No, they're very, very focused. They're not disrespectful. They talk business. They talk boxing, and that's what it is. They don't do runarounds. They don't talk. They're not clowns. I mean, okay, I understand. Each boxer has their personality. Some are more, charismatic. Some are more, I'm not calling, charismatic people clowns, nothing like that, but it's just that, I just like their styles and personality, man. And now this is something I wanted to really point out, and we're going to get El Chapo also on this. This is something Heyman's World's already saying, what I already had prepared is that Eubank has already fought exactly Billy Joe, Groves, and DeGale. So Eubank, he has fought, great, fighters, super middleweight, Groves. Okay, now I want to talk about that a little bit. Now we gotta get this, understood. All right. So Chris Eubank Jr. All right, he has 2 losses. Okay, he lost against a Groves, and he lost against, who was his second loss? It was Billy Joe Sanders. So he lost against Billy Joe Sanders and Groves. All right. Now those losses, NBT boxing, what is good? Hey, welcome to the chat, brother. Welcome to live, man. So the thing here is that the wins, the losses that Chris Eubank Jr. had against Groves and against Billy Joe Sanders, they were close. You guys, those were close calls. Now let me clarify. Eubank Jr. fought against Grove in the World Boxing Super Series in the super middleweight division. Okay, Groves beat Eubank Jr. and then Groves went on to fight Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith beat Groves. Now, the thing is here, in the PBC interview that Chris Eubank Jr. had recently, okay, he explained that, the super middleweight, his dad, okay, Chris Eubank Sr. explained that the reason that Chris Eubank Jr. moved up to super middleweight was to fight in the World Boxing Super Series. So, they were explaining that, the middleweight division is not necessarily Eubank Jr.'s natural fighting weight. You see, so he wasn't maybe fighting 100%, a little bit slower in the super middleweight division. And you can note that, you can see that. If you see Eubank fight in the middleweight division, that's why I explained a moment ago that Eubank Jr. has fast combos on the inside. And I'm talking about when he's in the middleweight division, it looks like he's just a lot sharper, a lot faster, a lot more effective and powerful. Okay, so when he fought Groves, okay, the thing here is that there was a headbutt. All right. There was a headbutt. He got a big old gash. I think it was on the left side of his eyebrow. It was like a gash in the likes of Tyson Fury. Maybe not that big, right? When he fought Tyson Fury fought, who was this guy? Wallen. It was kind of like that, man. It was early in the fight too. So Eubank Jr. had a big disadvantage throughout that whole fight against Groves early in the fight. And throughout the whole fight, guys, if you just go back and watch it, Eubank Jr. was blind practically on the left side of his eye, and that really, really affected him in the fight. When I saw the fight, it was like in the middle of the day. You know how they fight in Europe, and, it goes on like around 3 o'clock, the fight. I mean, I had to watch this fight, and I saw it. I was disappointed because I saw that gash over his head after that headbutt, okay? And I was like, man, Eubank is probably going to lose. Now, this is going to be a really big challenge for him, and that was a big disadvantage for Eubank Jr. So my point in saying all this, Groves is a bigger guy. He boxes amazingly too. So that was a big disadvantage for Eubank Jr. It was a close, and still, Eubank Jr. lost against Groves. Okay, it was a close fight. It wasn't like a total annihilating victory. You know what I'm saying? Also, when you go back to Eubank Jr. when he fought Billy Joe Saunders, check this out, guys. Eubank Jr. and Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders, you guys know how he is. Okay, he's an all-around fighter, man. I really dig Billy Joe Saunders' style. He uses his legs a lot, right? Fast, amazing head movement. Okay, and that fight in particular, guys, Eubank Jr. against Billy Joe Saunders, that was a really, really... Billy Joe Saunders won by the hair of his teeth, you guys. I think by the skin of his teeth. The hair of his teeth, what am I saying? By the skin of his teeth. He won by like 2 points, man. I mean, it was a really, really, really close fight. And the thing that made styles make fights. Some styles are more, when two styles meet in the ring, sometimes it just doesn't make for the best fight in the world. For example, Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Everybody thought that was going to be an explosive war, but a lot of people said that was a boring fight, because a lot of people were expecting, because those two styles together, it makes for a more chess-like fight and not maybe as action-packed as many people think. For example, you go to bare knuckle boxing. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but when you consider, I mentioned bare knuckle boxing because, it has the element and craft and skills of boxing in that sport. So when you go to that, that's more action-packed because the ring, the square circle, they call it, they're close together and they have to fight. It's a lot more action-packed. So when you have two styles like Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather, a lot of people expect it to be like a bare-knuckle kind of action fight, you know what I'm saying? But not necessarily because they use their legs a lot. They use amazing defense, head movement, et cetera, et cetera. So that's how it was with Eubank Jr. Sorry if you hear dogs in the background. Those are my dogs out in the yard barking away, but whatever. Okay, so Eubank Jr. versus Billy Joe Saunders, you guys, those two styles, and they were just clinching a lot. Billy Joe Saunders, more than everything, he was clinching Eubank Jr. so much in that fight. It was a really frustrating and a frustrating fight to watch, man. So the thing here is the reason why I say all this, we're going to get to El Chapo in a moment. We're going to get to MBT in a moment also. The reason why I say is that Eubank's losses, you guys, he didn't even get affected as far as injury, nothing. I mean, he wasn't even hurt he was in the headbutt against Groves. What I mean, boxing wise, I mean, it wasn't Eubank Jr. was really not taken to school. He wasn't humiliated in the ring. He's a really, really good, fighter for middleweight division. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's my point I'm bringing across here. So that's why I think it's going to, and like El Chapo said a moment ago, that this is a great chess move by Al Heyman and the PBC to bring Eubank Jr. in America and fight the competition in America in the middleweight division. This is going to be great, you guys. And I think this is going to add on to what El Chapo was saying a moment ago, what we were talking about, 2020 being a great year of fighting. 2019 was great. I think 2020 is going to be a lot better now, at least in the middleweight division with Eubank Jr. in the mix. What do you got to say about that, El Chapo? What do you think about, Eubank Jr. and his threat to the middleweight division? Do you think it's going to be a threat?
No, not really. I mean, I can see him. I can see him giving Derevyanchenko a real good fight. I think he could beat Derevyanchenko. I don't think he can beat Boo Boo, and I don't think he can beat Charlo. So, that's kind of what I feel about Chris Eubank. I got him like kind of in there. I think their styles, Eubank's, Boo Boo's style would give what you call a lot of problems. It would give Eubank a lot of problems, kind of like Billy Joe. He's able to keep him on the outside, kind of keep him away. Boo Boo can, move around, lateral movement, stick and move on him, and he's a big guy too. He's not a small guy. He's not small. Now, as far as him compared to Charlo, I think he kind of caters to Charlo a lot, as far as him coming forward, and not a lot of head movement, which with Charlo, like when you stand in front of Charlo, that's when he tees off on you and he gives you, and he can knock you out and stuff like that. As far as Charlo, his problems are kind of, with the slicker type of fighter or guys that have a little bit of head movement and stuff like that. So I see Eubank not being so much difficult to them. I think those guys are just are in another class, as far as skill wise and stuff like that with Eubank. I think Eubank's kind of one dimensional. Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. I like him, but I just don't think he's on that type of level. But he's a quality opponent for them and a good fight. But I don't think he's I don't think he gives them a loss. Now, as far as maybe I think Triple G, he could beat Triple G now. The Triple G's now and Derevyanchenko, like I said.
Right. And the thing here is, I'm personally excited about seeing Chris Eubank Jr., get into the the Western Hemisphere, America, his debut here against Korobov, because I think he's a really competitive element, I guess we can say, right? I think he's a real competitive fighter in the middleweight division.
He's gonna come to fight. He's gonna fight. He's gonna put it all out there, and as far as that, like I do want to see him out there. I do want to see him fight, here and there. And I think he would be tough. I think he poses more of a threat for the incoming 154 pounders. For all the guys that are moving up to 160, I think those are the fighters he's going to give a lot of problems to. I think he can beat most of them, actually. As far as all the ones that are, and they're all planning to move up. They're not going to stay at 154 for too much longer. So for him to stick around, you know what? If we're talking about that, him sticking around, if he sticks around a little bit long for a little while longer, then he'll do some damage there. As far as all the 154 incoming fighters.
Yeah, right. So you see him more a threat to the up and coming 154-pound fighters who are going to move up to the middleweight division, right? You see that more. But what if the thing here is, though, the question we got to ask is this: that they're going to fight in. Let me get the date. I forgot, it was December 7th. So that date comes around. Now the thing here, guys, before we get to this, what I'm going to mention right now is that Chris Eubank Jr. I just think that he has a lot more to give. I think he has more boxing skills than we think. Like what you mentioned a moment ago about his head movement. Chris Eubank Jr. doesn't seem like he has shown much head movement or the best head movement, in the game. But I think he has a lot more to show and a lot more to grow in. He's been it's been known that he's been in the Mayweather the gym training there, so I think he's learning a lot from there. And I just think personally, this is the thing here. How do you think, Chapo? How do you guys, and all you in the chat? How do you guys think that Chris Eubank Jr. is going to do against Korobov? You think it's going to be a more convincing win than Charlo against Korobov?
No, oof. I mean, as far as so this is what like with the Charlo and Korobov fight, I don't give him a pass because you're a professional fighter. You're supposed to. I mean, every fighter ends up dealing with something like that where you get a last minute replacement. And you got to deal with stuff like that. As a professional fighter, that comes with the territory, and you got to go out there and fight. And then as far as the brother thing going on, so I don't really give him a pass too much about that. But I know that if he did not, like, let's say he studied for the fight, he game planned for him and stuff like that, I think it would have been more convincing. Now I think it'll. So that's when I compare them, I don't want to compare too much of that fight because I know if he had time, I think Charlo would have won more convincing. But I do think this Eubank fight will be similar to that. It would be pretty close. But I think Eubank pulls it off.
Okay, now
Korbov's real tough, man. He's a tough guy.
That's what I was gonna.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro. Finish.
No, that's it. I'm good.
That's exactly what I was going to point out right now, and we're going to get to Heyman's World right now too. So in conjunction with Heyman's World, what he said right now, okay, because earlier he was chatting with MBT Boxing about about Inu and stuff like that. So now, in conjunction with Heyman's World, what he's saying right now, and with El Chapo, right? Korobov will be Eubank's toughest fight now, and what? Right now, El Chapo. You think Eubank Jr. will come out with the win against Korobov? Now the thing here is that, like I reiterate what I was explaining a moment ago. Consider Eubank Jr. He has fought tough competition already. You know what I'm saying? Like we said, Billy Joe Saunders, right? Groves. That was a great fight. Check this out, real quick. Check this out. Chris Eubank Jr., when he was training for, if I'm not mistaken, the Groves fight. Yeah, when he was training for the Groves fight, he was sparring Carl Froch. Okay, I'm not the best. I'm not a. How do you say? I'm not a scholar in boxing or anything, but I have done some, at least, homework in in European fighters, such as these names we're talking about right now. Because these European fighters, man, they're coming out tough. Not all of them, just a select few, right? Lennox Lewis was one of the old legends back from Europe. You know what I'm saying? Where's Lennox Lewis from, you guys? Lennox Lewis is from UK. Where is he from? You remember, Chapo?
Nah, I thought he was
I don't remember, but he has that British accent. We know he's from British, whatever, right?
I know, yeah, I thought he was from London, but I could be wrong.
He's around that territory. So the thing is that these European, there's a select few of strong, really skilled European fighters. I wouldn't consider Anthony Joshua one of them because we kind of know about him, is his robotic style and stuff like that. Chen Smoke Canada, all right. So I'm not the best. I'm not a scholar in European fighters, nothing like that. But I do pay attention to these names. You know what I'm saying? So getting back to Korobov, Eastern European fighter, right? I think he's from Russia. He's from Russia, right? Is he from Russia? Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's from
I know these names, man. I know it's hard to remember all these names. Porter didn't even know. Yeah. I think he's Russian. I think he is Russian. Porter didn't even know who this guy was, man. So you know what I'm saying. So, but the thing is that, and they mentioned this in the PBC interview, right? Eubank Jr. and Senior. They mentioned that these Russian guys, they're tough, man. I think he talked a little bit about. I don't remember who. One of those guys in the PBC interview. I think it was Eubank Jr. He started it up. He said, these Russian guys are tough. They're really tough, and that's the thing. Now, that's what I'm saying. That Eubank Jr. guys, he sparred against Froch, and when I saw some clips on it, and man, he was giving Froch some work in sparring, you guys. Thanks, Heyman's World, Russia, right on, right on. I'm gonna get back to Heyman's World, his comment a little bit earlier on analysis right here. So guys, let me get back to the sparring. I don't want to get mixed up. Eubank Jr. sparred against Froch when he was preparing, training for the Groves fight in the World Boxing Super Series in the super middleweight division. All right. Eubank Jr. was giving Froch work, and if you guys go back, you guys, Carl Froch fought Groves twice. Okay. First fight was a war. Man, you guys got to see that. Go to Carl Froch versus Groves. Groves, man, that first fight was crazy. Okay. And then they rematched. Crazy, guys. That was a war. And that's the thing, guys. Eubank Jr., he has fought tough guys, man. I mean, these are the biggest names that, if I'm not mistaken, Heyman's World mentioned a moment ago. Billy Joe Saunders, Groves, and he got DeGale in his resume too. So the thing is, that's what I'm saying, guys. I don't think we should sleep on Chris Eubank Jr. I personally think he's going to give a tough competition in the middleweight division, guys. I think that. So we're going to see, right? We're going to see how Chris Eubank Jr. does against Korobov. If he beats Korobov in a great fashion, right? I think that, it's going to be tough in the welterweight division, you guys, in the middleweight division. Let's get to a comment real fast. Heyman's World. I think Korobov might be a bigger puncher than DeGale and Billy Joe. Yeah, he can be. He's dangerous with skills. Definitely. And so El Chapo, you said a moment ago that you don't give a pass, right, on Charlo's victory against Korobov. You said something like, can you repeat? So what does that mean exactly? Not giving him a pass.
He didn't display he didn't have a super great performance. He didn't blow him out the water.
Charlo, right? Or Korobov?
Korobov.
Yeah, right.
And like I said, I know he had stuff going on, his brother had just lost, and they say the twins feel this and that, and then right. It was a last minute replacement, but I don't, you're a professional fighter, you know what I'm saying? You got to deal with adversity, and so he doesn't get a pass for that, as far as not having super great performance.
Right. So I personally think, man, I think that, I know this is going to be a tough fight, man. And Korobov, he's a southpaw, right? Yeah, he's a southpaw. Yeah. So I personally think, man, if I got to go back and if Eubank Jr. beats Korobov in a convincing fashion, I think middleweight is going to have some problems. That's just my personal opinion that the middleweight division is going to have some problems. And we'll go back to Charlo, right? Jermall Charlo, if he fights against Eubank Jr. If Eubank Jr. gets past Korobov, I think that's going to be an explosive fight. All right. I personally think it's going to be a great fight, man. I see something. I'm not trying to act like Mikey Garcia when he talked about Spence. Right? I'm not trying to do that, but I just see something in Eubank Jr. guys. I just see something in him, and same thing. I did this live months ago. It was just a live, alone, but I talked about, Shakur Stevenson. I see something also in Shakur Stevenson. And, time is proving that, Shakur Stevenson, a lot of people are calling him maybe the next Mayweather or what have you. I don't know, right? But, I see maybe, I'm not saying Chris Eubank Jr. is going to be the best of the best. Maybe not. I don't know. But he's going to be great in the middleweight division. I just think we shouldn't sleep on him too much. And just real fast, let's get to Heyman's World. He's saying, so remember seeing that sparring years ago, I think it was on IFL TV or something like that. It was great sparring, man. In the first fight, the ref gave no count to Groves. He just called it off. Right. Yeah. Against Froch. That was okay. A lot of people are debating that. But the thing here is, bro, Heyman's World, I just think in that first fight anyway, Froch had Groves. It was a close fight. Did you see that, El Chapo? Did you see those fights? Froch versus Groves?
I think I saw the first one.
Yeah, the first one. That was a really controversial one. A lot of people were but I personally think, you guys, I think that, he would have, if the ref would have even if he counted and Groves said, I'm good. I think Froch would have just annihilated him anyway. I think because Groves was tired out, man, in the first fight. They were both tired out. But I just saw Froch the stronger guy, and I think it was going to be the same thing as in the rematch, right? Yeah, the first ref probably didn't give a count as to what many expected, right? But I think Froch was going to blow him out the water anyway, even though it was a close fight. It was a war. Yeah, it was a war. Right here, Chen Smoke says, I thought Korobov beat Charlo, in my opinion. Yeah, it was a close fight. It was a close fight, you know. So, and I get back to that. Now, something that Eubank Jr. commented also, that he's a go forward fighter. He's a forward fighter. He goes towards you. He pressures you. Chris Eubank Jr. mentioned something like Korobov. He's a counterpuncher. He's a counterpuncher. He's a counterpuncher fighter. Okay, so, and he says that, you know, he will give. Korobov, who is a counterpuncher fighter, he will give him problems because Chris Eubank Jr. he's a go forward fighter. He brings the fight to you and in furious combos. So I think that's one thing that's going to give one element, one strategy that's going to give Korobov problems. That's why I think, you guys. That's why I think that Chris Eubank Jr. is going to give a statement. I think he's going to give a great statement against Korobov. And again, we got to go back to that fact that Korobov, you know, those Russian guys, they are tough fighters, man. They got chins, and we're going to see how Korobov does, man. So we're going to see how he does. And so it's gonna be great here. Hey, Heyman's World. A lot of people thought the other Charlo beat Harrison, but he got robbed, so it's even. Yeah. Okay. Chris Reyna. All right, we're gonna go to this comment right here. Chris Reyna commented right here on them. I thought both Charlos won, but they were close. So if they went either way, yeah, I wouldn't complain. True. I mean, yeah, those are debatable wins, you guys. Very close wins. Okay, so that's what I think, guys. Just to kind of conclude this aspect, we can talk about other things right now in a moment. We've got about 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes maybe. So that's my closing, you know, aspect, argument, I guess we can say. Conclusion is that, you know, Chris Eubank Jr. is going to come and he's going to bring great competition in the middleweight division. I personally think Chris Reyna, you know, El Chapo mentioned a moment ago that, you know, Boo Boo Andrade, right? I personally think also that would be a challenge for Chris Eubank Jr. I just think let's see how he does against Korobov. And I repeat, if he beats Korobov in a convincing fashion, it's going to be, you know, I think Chris Eubank Jr. is going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem in the middleweight division. Heyman's World, Rene Boxon, what do you think about what Rigo did to a prime Nonito compares to Ino versus a 36-year-old Nonito? First, El Chapo, what do you think about that?
Oh man, I mean, I don't think he had a great fight. I mean, do I believe he's not really that good? No, but I think he just finally had a really good step up in what is it called, in competition this time, and he just wasn't able to get him out the way.
With Nonito, right? You're talking about Nonito?
Yeah, with Nonito. And then if I'm not mistaken, I think I think at that time Rigo was really good at that time too. I mean, he was something special at that time, compared to now, you know.
Well, the thing here is that
this man's always been good. Nonito Donair's always been good. He's never been like trash or nothing like that. You know, I mean, he lost to, you know, like Carl Frampton, you know, and Guillermo and you know, Nicholas Walter. So I mean, he's lost to some credible opponents, and then that was when he moved up. I believe some of the other ones were when he moved up. But yeah, I think I think he just didn't have a great performance. I'd like to see what he does next. I was just reading a while ago that he moved up. I mean, not moved up, but he signed with the top rank. So let's see what kind of fights he gets now. See if he moves up or what he does. But yeah, I just think he just didn't have a great performance tonight. I mean, all fighters can have that. And then we'll see on the next fight. You know, I kind of don't like to give, you know, like, oh, nah, he was just trash. You know, just or he's just not what he was set out to be, based off of one fight. Because he's been showing us, all the other fights that he's been real good. But I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see on the next fight.
Right. Rigo schooled Nonito like a little kid. Yeah, I mean, Rigo, the thing here, guys, is that Rigo, how old is Rigo right now? He's getting up there, isn't he?
He's like 50, man. You know them Cuban fighters.
50 years old?
They lie. Nah, I don't know.
Nah, dude. Yeah, I know you're exaggerating. I'm kind of naive sometimes. Okay, so
he's like 36 or something like that. 34. I think he's probably like 34.
The thing here is that
let me check.
The thing here, yeah, go ahead and check that out. Rigo, it seems like he's been going down since. Yeah, what's up?
He's 39.
Oh, man. The thing here is that Rigo, 39, Heyman's World also corroborating. The thing here is that Rigo, when he fought Lomachenko, right? I think that's around the time or a little bit before that, maybe. No, I was around that time. He just started going down, right? And then he fought, who was this guy? A Mexican guy. What was his name? He just, I think that after Lomachenko, where Rigo was fighting in the pocket a lot. He was fighting in the pocket a whole lot. And a lot of people criticize Rigo. A lot of people criticize Rigo that he wasn't as before, And Rigo, after the fight, he stated that, you know what? I wanted to show the world that I got another way of fighting. I can fight inside the pocket. And they were just going toe to toe. I forgot his opponent. Yeah, Ceja. Lawrence Williams in the house. Salute, Lawrence Williams. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, Ceja, exactly. Yeah, Rigo, I mean, man, I was kind of worried for Rigo. I was thinking, what are you doing, Rigo? Man, get out of that. Get out of the pocket. You're getting hit, man. Both of them, they were just going at it. So I just kind of think that Rigo, but obviously he's not as before. So, wait, let's get to this real quick. Okay, so Heyman's World. Not saying Inu is trash. He is just not pound for pound. Right. Number one. Right. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I wouldn't have put him pound for pound number one either.
Nah,
but
I wouldn't either.
I like to show the little guys some love, so I had him in my pound for pound. I think I had him like at 10 or something like that. But I don't know. Pound for pound is just crazy.
Yeah, of course. Another thing here. Okay, pound for pound. Interesting you talk about that, Heyman's World, and I totally agree. He's not pound for pound number one. No way. The thing here is that, this whole pound per pound debates and all this pound for pound. I mean, it's like you say, El Chapo, I think it's getting blown out of proportion. Too much hype sometimes. When a boxer has a great victorious win or what have you, they start calling him now number one pound for pound, the winner. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko, the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he isn't. I just personally don't think Lomachenko should be considered pound for pound yet. Pound for pound. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a debatable thing right there. So yeah, I mean, Inu, he's a great fighter. Oh, excuse me. So real quick, guys, talk about this real fast. I want to talk about this. I wanted to mention this because Inu right now, I mean, this is the hot thing right now. He just won a great win with a great war, against Nonito. Inu, okay, he signed to Top Rank, like El Chapo just said. New contract. He just signed. I read in Twitter. I don't know who posted it up, but what do you think about that? Okay, we're finishing. We finished about Chris Eubank Jr. I want to talk about other things. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think El Chapo and chat, please comment also about this. Do you think Inu made a mistake on going to Top Rank? Why? Because let me make my point. Y'all have seen how Top Rank, they just fight, in-house fights a lot, opponents, okay? But there are exceptions. We have Lopez. He's fighting Comey. That's great. Is Comey signed to Top Rank? Do you know El Chapo? Is he signed to Top Rank?
Yeah,
Comey?
Yeah, he's a Top Rank.
I mean, that's a great in-house fight, but Top Rank has that reputation. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about promotions and stuff like that, promotional companies, but we have to understand and be aware of these things, as far as politics and things like that. So, I think personally, Inu, it's probably not the best decision for him to go to Top Rank, but the thing is, obviously, the boxers are going to go for the money. So, I just think that Inu is probably, I don't know, man. I think it's a controversial thing that Inu went to Top Rank because now they'll probably give him easier opponents now, and he'll probably be protected to a certain extent, kind of like Bud Crawford. Him resigning to Top Rank. This whole Spence gig and, Porter, fighting Porter. He's in PBC, other side of the street, blah, blah, blah. So Inu, he's probably going to go through that, okay? Why? Because you guys know the fighters who left Top Rank. You guys already know. Pac-Man, Mayweather, Andy Ruiz, right? Several fighters have left Top Rank for the same problems. So what do you think, El Chapo? You think it was a mistake for Inu to go to Top Rank? Yeah, El Chapo, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think it was a mistake for Inu to go to Top Rank? Are you there?
I
Yeah.
really don't know, man, because honestly, I'm not too up on who's where, in the lower division, like who's with what promotional company. But I mean, I think Top Rank has a lot of them. So I mean, he can fight Bali, and then let's see, I don't know who, I don't know if Tay Tay's with them. I really don't know where they're at. Like I don't know who's signed with who.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I really can't.
Okay, it looks like there was a little technical difficulty as far as Chris Reyna got out. It must be something with the internet or something like that. So yeah, I really don't follow too much those things with the lower weight divisions, but yeah, I mean, I think kind of Inu maybe made a mistake, but I think there is more competition though. I think there is more competition in the lower divisions and Top Rank. That's what I do think and I have seen. So I mean, I think it's going to be great. I think it might be great. I mean, at least for Inu, but we'll see, right? Rigo versus Seja on PBC was a war. Definitely, man. That was. I enjoyed it though. I mean, I was kind of worried for Rigondeaux, but yeah, it was a war, man. It was definitely a war. Or what were you saying, El Chapo?
Oh yeah, no, I just really don't know where they're at. The lower fighters, I really don't, to be honest with you, man. I don't know what promotional companies they're signed to, but I know there is some good fighters at that weight class for.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But I just don't know where they're at.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. In those divisions, man, there's great fighters in that. And also here in the comments, Brandon Figueroa is fighting Ceja. That's going to be cool. I didn't know that on Wilder versus Ortiz 2 card now. Oh, that's going to be nice. That's going to be nice. Brandon Figueroa is fighting Ceja. I want to tune in on that one. That's the thing. PBC has great undercards, man. They have great fights in the lineups. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I like about PBC is that there are great fights before the main event where you can just enjoy fight after fight. I love it. Okay, so let's continue these comments real fast before we close. Ceja is fighting Brandon. Yeah, Figueroa. Awesome. Thanks, Lawrence William. Thanks, guys. So we have Luis Neri is fighting a good fight on Wilder's card 2. Wow. Okay, so let's continue. Let's go to these chats before we finish. We're about to finish the live. Those who are just tuning in, sorry, man. We're about to finish in a moment, but hey, we're going to keep talking. Dougie Fisher and Kim had Inu pound for pound number 1 man. They are clowns. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, again, with that pound for pound talk, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can be pound for pound nowadays, So, Nui versus Rodriguez winner gets O'Bali next. All right, Ring Magazine just updated their pound for pound ranking today. Inu is number 4. Loma is number 2. Ring Magazine said that. Wow, I'm surprised. I'm guessing Ring Magazine put Canelo number 1, right? I'm just guessing. Check, someone maybe double check that, right? I'm thinking Ring Magazine put Canelo as number 1 pound per pound. I'm just guessing. I'm probably right. Comey is with DeBella. Lou DeBella. I didn't know that. Okay, so Comey's not with Top Rank. Yeah, that's why I said it a moment ago. Yeah, I was kind of thinking. I kind of thought Comey wasn't in Top Rank. That's why I said there are some exceptions where Top Rank does have fights that are not in-house, but a lot of them are. So, I mean, but that's great. That's why I props to Top Rank that, I think, what do you think, El Chapo? I think personally that Lopez, oh no, sorry. Am I messing up the names? Who's against Comey? How did I forget his guy's name, man? Who's against Comey? Who's fighting against Comey? Lopez, right?
Teofimo.
Yeah, Teofimo. Thank you. Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez versus Comey, right? I think that should be the main event. What do you think, El Chapo? I think that should be the main event, man.
On the because they're on the undercard for Terrence
Crawford?
Crawford.
Bud Crawford and then the Mean Machine, whatever his name is, Green. I don't even know who that guy is really, man.
Yeah, to top it off, you got to top it off with your best fighters. So yeah, you got to put Terrence Crawford as number 1.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, and the main event, right?
Yeah.
I just think that the more competitive fight is going to be Lopez versus Comey. Yeah.
So your biggest draw you got to put on as your main event. But I mean to boxing fans, like to hardcore boxing or just people that follow boxing really good, that fight, that championship fight is a big meaningful fight. It's more meaningful than the Crawford fight. But you just got to put the biggest draw first.
Right. Yeah. Good point. So Comey is with DeBella. Nice. So let's continue. Heyman's World. Okay, so Inu. Okay, Lawrence Williams. Inu has some good opponent on Top Rank. Jason Maloney. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's kind of what I incline to. So we'll see, man. We're gonna see how it goes with Inu in Top Rank. Let's hope, man. Let's hope that he gets the best fights out there. Yeah. So Top Rank is okay for small. Yeah. Yeah, I was suspecting that. That's why I mentioned just a few minutes ago that I think Top Rank does have a good lineup of small fighters. I just not for other, higher weight fighters. That's what my mindset more is on the higher divisions in Top Rank, and I haven't seen really good competition in Top Rank as far as that. So, but exceptions obviously, Bud Crawford, what have you, and stuff like that. So, big names, not so much. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Heyman's World. Let's continue here down here. Whoa. Okay. These comments are flying. All right. Sorry guys. Hey, D-Lo 404 boxing. Salute, man. We're going towards the end of the chat. So sorry, man. But let's continue with the comments. Salute, brother. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ring finally put. Yeah, exactly. I thought so. I thought Ring Magazine put Kylo #1. So finally, right? Okay. PBC sent Andy and Duriumchenko to the zone also. PBC sent Andy, and yeah, they sent him there too. Yeah. Mean Machine should always, MBT Boxing, Mean Machine should always be main event and PB pay-per-view. Thank you very much. Okay. Right on. Respect. Ray Robinson beat Mean Machine. All right. I haven't followed Mean Machine, guys. I don't know. I'm just almost positive that Crawford's going to just take him out easily, man. I mean, I just personally think, guys, Crawford should get a little higher competition. He sucks. Okay. Mean Machine should be fighting Josh Kelly. Oh, Josh Kelly. That's another topic, man. We're going to get into that. I think we're going to make another live for that, you guys. Josh Kelly, this whole Josh Kelly, his recent victory. Man. So, yeah, I think we're going to make another live for that. Definitely. And his future. Man, in the division, it's going to be great. Kobe, I reckon, Bud, going the distance with this guy. I'm going to put you on mute for a month when it happens. Rounds, tops. Yeah, 5 rounds tops, bro. I promise. Okay, so, yeah, so you guys are debating there. Cool. All right, guys. So I think we're done. I think we're going to conclude this. I think the next live, guys, is going to be on Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua rematch. I think we're going to have to focus on that in the next live. Thank you so much. El Chapo Reina, any last words?
Oh, man. Hey, just go subscribe to Marlo's Corner 2, the second page. I had some difficulties, man, but just go ahead and subscribe to that so y'all can catch the blow-by-blow on Fight Night. And make sure you subscribe to Renee Box Young, man. He's coming out with this dope content already. And hey, if any of y'all need any work on your pages or anything like that, just let me know, man. I'll hook you up with a good price for some good work.
Right on. Thank you so much, El Chapo. Real fast. MBT. I was joking, by the way. Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. No one cares for me, Machine. Yeah, I was surprised about you saying that earlier. I was like, man, are you serious? Here's the link, as brother El Chapo said right now. Yeah, this is the link for Marlo's Corner backup channel, Marlo's Corner 2. Go subscribe. Get at El Chapo, you guys. Get at him if you guys want some work done, as he just mentioned a moment ago. Get at him for some work right there. He can do some content right there for you. So it is what it is, man. Thank you so much, MBT Boxing. All you guys who came into the chat. Let me go to the names real fast. D-Lo 404 Boxing, Heyman's World, MBT Boxing, Lawrence Williams. Thank you guys so much. And everybody else who's going to tune in. Chen Smoke, also, we can't forget about you, brother. Everyone else who's going to tune in after this live. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chris. El Chapo Reina. Salute. Shouts from the South. Renee Box Young. We'll be back at you soon. Thank you so much. Peace.